Yo, it's your boy Rush. I'm in the building promoting my side hustle, Rush Enterprise. If you need any type of security in the state of New Jersey, that's armed or unarmed, just hit me up on my business line, which is 973-558-4659. That's 973-558-4659. Today I got a special guest. He go by the name of Rashawn Ali. Know what I mean? And yo, man, we gonna get this panel situated and popping off. You heard? Yo, salute to you, King, man. It's a pleasure to have you in the building today, man.
Thank you very much, man. Peace and blessings to you, Lady E. How you doing, sis?
Good evening, good evening.
Hey, what's up, Lady E?
Not much. Getting
Word
settled.
up. All right. Man, I'm glad I have y'all today, man. Today's gonna be a little special thing we're gonna have popping off. Know what I mean? And I kind of want to start off with the show asking this crazy question. Yo, how important it is to a female to be submissive in a relationship, and do y'all think it's a key component for that relationship to function if the female is submissive in the relationship? Talk to me.
Well, we'll let a woman go talks first because she could speak based upon what a woman feels, what they thoughts, the whole 9 yards, and then I could definitely play off of that.
Just to keep it short and precise, it is important for a woman to be submissive in a marriage. People go, you have dating, you go in and out of relationships. It has to be that right person that you submit your all to. It just can't be every person that you date, every person that you come across in life. There's no guarantee that relationship is going to work out. But when you do know, and that's the person you submit to when you're getting married.
I agree. I definitely agree. It's important if you're married. It's definitely important. And submissive just only mean being cooperative, right? A little bit, right? Just being more cooperative with someone. It doesn't mean and it doesn't mean that you weak in any way. People normally use the term weak with the term submissive, like you're allowing someone to run all over you. No, we're not talking about that. That's the negative side of being submissive to somebody who isn't worthy enough to be submissive to, right? But I think it's very important to people to be in a relationship, that a woman to be submissive to a man if that's the man that she chose. Look, the key thing, Lady E, is like, this is the man that you want to be with, or that you came to an agreement with yourself that's who you want to be with for the rest of your life. Then why wouldn't you be submissive to him? And it's either you believe that this is going to work, or you don't believe that it's not going that is not going to work. If you do agree with that, why be anything other than be submissive in a relationship? Why would you want to cause problems in your relationship? Because not being submissive will only cause problems. So I agree with you if it's the man that you married to, for sure.
Yo, you could go, Mr. Best, man. I want to get your perspective too.
Absolutely, absolutely, family. Can you hear me? Is my audio good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you on point.
Perfect, perfect. All right. We're on point, Tip, all the time, Fife. Got you, got you. All right, look. Okay. I think, just like I believe men should always be masculine and provide leadership, I think women should always be submissive and provide femininity at all points in their life. And that way you can kind of understand, you can kind of, get rid of men who are not qualified to be with you. You know what I mean? If the man's not qualified, then you can see that already because you're already in your feminine. You're already operating in a state of submission. You can get rid of any man who's not qualified, who's not leading, who's not being masculine. Now, understand that the field of men who actually going to really be husband material, who can actually lead you, is very small. It's not for everybody, okay? Just like a woman who's going to be submissive and feminine, there's a small class of women that's like that. It's not every female, okay? So we have to understand that. And I think once both have the understanding, it's a lot easier to work. You know what I mean? I think the complication is that we start thinking that everybody can be a wife or a husband, and they can't. It's not built for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like sports. Not everybody gonna be a superstar. Some people gonna be superstars. Some people gonna be role players. Okay. Some people just gonna be good in college and they make it to the league. They're gonna be trash, right? Then you got those who are gonna be superstars or all stars. Those are small pockets of people. It's the same thing when it comes to being submissive or being feminine and being a wife and having that wifey material type of energy, or being a male and being a man. You know what I mean? Who's husband material, who actually provides leadership and provides real masculinity. And not toxic masculinity, but positive masculinity, actually bringing order and structure to his home and making sure his woman is taken care of, his kids are taken care of, and making the house his home and completing that family structure with his woman. And then working together and making sure the family structure is bonded together. So that's what I think.
You know, I gotta say, I agree with mostly everything he said, except for the part where it says not everybody can be married or be a husband or a wife. I strongly disagree with that. I think that maybe people not qualified at that moment at that time, but marriage is something that you qualify yourself. You are qualifying yourself during that process, right? A lot of times that people, it's just like when people want position, you don't really know the position until you get into it, right? It's on the job training. And I think that anybody or any one of us can be married. However, I think that, and I think it's prerequisites that you need to do with yourself before you get married. But I strongly disagree with the part where nobody could be, not everybody's to be married. But I did like the analogy that he used, because not everybody gonna be the superstar, right? The superstars are those who go through their trial is great. Some people trials is greater than others. And the more great that your trial is and you overcome that trial, the more on the other, once you overcome it, the more or another level that you become. And those are the superstars that you look at. People think that superstars is just, no, these superstars work hard. Michael Jordan, LeBron, if you list Kobe, when you hear about them, you hear their work ethic is crazy, right? And these people who, and all of the great ones, they and sustain greatness for a long period of time, their work ethic is crazy. Now, everybody go to the league, they might be bums to us because we watching it to compare to other people, but they come to the come to the streets, they will bust anybody behind them. They're nice in real life. It's just that they just not nice to the superstars that's in the game with them or in that ballpark that they playing with. But it's only a selected few people that could go to the league, though. And everybody can't go to the league. But those who work hard at it are the ones who are sustained and go through and being able to stay married. Chaotic Truth. What's up, my boy?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm blessed.
It was good. But to give some clarity on my statement, Mr. Ali, you know what I mean? Salute to everybody that's on here. Chaotic, Ali, Tommy B, E, Rush, you know what I mean? I salute everybody in my back when I came in. But I'll say this. Look, I have even siblings that I would tell you, you know what I mean? One of my siblings, I would tell you that they don't need to be married. I got family members. I got relatives. I got cousins. I would tell you, if you like them, if you pick one of my family members and you actually like them, I will tell you they're not ready for marriage. They're not marriage material. Not everybody is built for marriage. Some people are, and some people aren't. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to be married. You know what I mean? And that's their choice. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Can they get to that point? Yeah. But some people just aren't. Some people aren't built for marriage, man. Some people are like, they just not it. It's not it for them. They don't want it, or they just haven't put themselves in a position in their life to be marriage material.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that part. I get that part. But when you say that they can't get people could be ready at certain times. They might not be ready now. But when you say specifically not everybody could be married, you're putting a blanket statement or a period on a life like this person can never qualify themselves to be married. And that's the reason what being want to be careful in our message, because we don't want to count nobody out to make it seem like they can't grow or qualify, because change is consistent and no one is who they were 4 or 5 years ago. Now they so at the end of the day, to make a blanket statement just to say like not everybody could be married, I don't. I get what you're saying. There's people who I know be like, bro, you ain't ready yet. I got you. You ain't ready yet. But I'm to write them off to say that they would never be ready. I can't say that.
I feel you, bro. But some people choose. Some people make that choice, and you muted too, Rush. If you're trying to talk, some people just choose to just be like, I'm good. Like they make that choice. Like they make choices in their life, and they say, yo, I'm choosing not to be ready. I'm making choices not to be ready or not to even be marriage material because I don't care about that. So if they make a choice and they're making a lifestyle change and they're making a specific choice for their life not to be married, then that's on them. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
of course they can change their mind. Anybody can change. So
Yo, let me shout out the super chat real quick. Shout out to roller skater girl, roller skater Texas girl. Appreciate the $20 super chat, man. Salute, man. We appreciate it.
Salute.
Oh, yo, let my man Tommy say something, man. Been sitting there kind of quiet, real quick, man. Yo, the question is like how important it is for a female to remain, or not remain, but be submissive in a relationship. Do you think it's a key component for the relationship to be in a good position? Talk to me.
Well, I think to each his own. I think everybody want every fucking body to fit in the same box, and it's just not realistic. And that's why we keep on having these circular ass conversations on these panels about this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be. Everybody household runs differently. Some people run strict, some people run loose. I don't know why everybody think they way is the right way. People parent different, people have relationships different, all of this stuff. People run businesses different. You know what I'm saying? If you look at even coaching, Pete Carroll is a player's coach. Bill Belichick isn't. They both got chips. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. So uh, I just think people think that it's one way to do shit, and it's not. So I mean, if that's what your preference is as a man, then yeah, it needs to be. But if that ain't, then I mean, shit, it might work another way. I don't know why everybody thinks it's just one way for shit to go. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, word up. I could dig that, man. Yo, the next question I got for y'all is like, do you think we should emulate the style of the Middle East, like such as arranged marriages and having the females to have the head covering and covering their bodies and all that? Talk to me.
Uh,
No, that's a culture. Also, that it plays a point in a role in religion, and not everyone follows that. Um, there's ways I believe that women can be modest without having to cover their face, cover their head, cover you know um, their. I'm sorry, I done came inside from doing some extracurricular activities today. Um, a
Hey,
woman's
lighten it up.
behavior
Lighten up.
a woman's behavior plays a role in that. The way she carries herself, there's more than just one way. Personally, I would not conform to having my face or my hair covered. I've lived 38 years without having to do it. Why do it now?
Word up. Okay, I mean, I could see why you wouldn't want to implement that kind of lifestyle within our social construct because women are so used to kind of like rocking certain gears. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like y'all got a certain style, y'all in the states where you know females can be kind of revealing out here. You know what I mean? And I can see why you wouldn't like dig that at all, man. You know what I mean? And I respect that. What about you, Ali, man? Talk to me, man. Let me know what's good.
Um, I mean, I don't think that we need to adopt the concept of the East. I just think that we need to, as in like a woman's having her face covered and things in that criteria. But I do think modesty will attract the right type of man that you want. Um, I look at it. I always tell my sister and I tell my daughters, I want you to attract a man with your mind and not your behind. And as much as you think that, and I know that you want it different, but as much as you think that you can, if you walk around naked, I don't care how much you think that you smart. I don't care about how much you think that when I finally talk to him, he gonna like me for me. No man, no. He might like you later, but what attracted him to you was the wagon. All right, it was the Baham. It was the way how it was the you being naked, and it just translating in our minds is something totally different. So that's his. At the end of the day, that's his first thing. But when you are modest and you dress that modest, he don't really know what that thing really. He don't really know what you look like out your clothes. Then you can make his mind wander a little bit, and then you making him he has to um not too much, but he has to work for it in some type of way a little bit by having those real conversations. His respect for you is different, and I like to use the Muhammad Ali thing that he told his daughters and what I tell my daughters. You know, to get gold, you have to dig deep in order for you to get gold. To get pearls, you got to go to the depths of the ocean and get pearls. To get, the materials or the substance of things, you have to go to the depths of the earth in order for you to get it. Have a man have to go to the depths of your mind in order for him to really get you. So those are the type of standards and morals that I try to, teach my daughters and just women in general. But you're gonna do at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you want to do, and then you're gonna see the results. You're going to um what they call it, a cycle. Either you're gonna be in a cycle or you're gonna break the cycle. It's one or the other. You choose.
Yo, the reason why I brought that up is because within their culture, they stats on marriage rate is a lot more successful than the people in the states. So that's why I brought that up. Know what I mean? Hey, yo, Michelle Schumann, what's your thoughts on the question?
That's
Talk
because
to me.
that's it's not just the Eastern. My bad. We're gonna give it to Sis, but it's not. I don't like it that we just make it. That's black culture. It's black culture. We taught them. We taught the Arabs how to dress. We taught them how to civilization. We taught the world. That's black African civilizations that we taught the world. So it's not, we when anytime we think of the East, we automatically just look at our brothers and sisters that's in the Arabia Desert. But no, all of that comes from us. We taught the world, and so I just wanted to landing on that. But I got your point though, Rush. I'm sorry, sis.
Can you repeat the question specifically?
I was pretty much saying like, do you think we as a people from the United States to emulate the style of the people from the Middle East because they do arranged marriages and they females rock head coverings and they cover their bodies, man. They don't reveal too much skin. You're talk to me.
Okay. Um. All right. Let me apologize first to the Muslim community before I start talking. Um. I was Sunni. I practiced Sunni Islam for about 20 years. So I understand what I understand, but I need to apologize first in advance. Okay. The answer is no. And the reason why is because most Americans have never traveled to the Middle East. And the Middle East is not like America where they keep statistics. You don't really know that culture until you've been in those streets, in those marketplaces, in those houses or things they call houses. You don't know them until you've been in their circles. And if you've never been in a let's say a non-black Arab, because what the brother said was correct. The original Arabs were not white Arabs. They were black. They were black, blackity black. You wouldn't know that because there's been a what's called like a genetic drift in a sense there, but essentially that's what that is. But when you get into their culture, you start realizing, okay, they covered because of some legal circumstances dealing in religion, but outside of that, the same thing is going on here in America. There's a higher divorce rate there because it's not on record. And I don't know if any of you know about the divorce that only takes 3 times saying I divorce you and then that's it, and you don't need any legal paperwork, and you can leave a woman where she's staying with her children, and there's nothing that anyone can do. It's nothing the government even cares to do because that is the law. It's very archaic. Let me be frank with you. It's very archaic. It's so archaic that honestly, during my journey in Islam, I only respected Muslims from here in a specific community. Okay, that's how bad it was. So and I've traveled to the Middle East. I've been around Arabs, Pakistanis. My son goes to a primarily Pakistani school, so I mean, I'm in the board meetings there. I go to little house meetings, parties, and stuff. So I'm there, and I hear some of the things, and I see a lot of things. But you know, we don't have the same record keeping that they have to chart exactly what happens and why. There's certain things that go on over there that could never go on here in terms of relationships. Never. Like it's just not acceptable to go on here. Like for instance, your mother-in-law coming to the house and laying hands on you, and you expected not to do anything to defend yourself. We don't have that kind of thinking here in America. No, under no circumstances can that happen. The law will be on you. So yeah, but that's pretty common over there. It's a lot of other things that are common too, and I'm not going to go into some of the more extreme things that I know we already know about. But those things are still going on. I just watched a video about last week. Somebody got upset because a lady accepted an arranged marriage, and then she said, "No, I can't do this," and then they thought that was worth taking her life for in front of her parents, and that no man on this panel would arrange for his daughter to be married, and when she says, "Hey, I can't marry this man," feel like that's worth her life, and he's okay with watching her die, like because of that. Again, the thought process is very different, and I'm not knocking the Middle Eastern people or Muslims and none of that. Okay, I'm just saying I recognize there's a huge difference in the culture over there, and when it comes to successful marriage, don't use okay, I don't use the term successful marriage when it comes to what they do over there. I say yes, marriage is half of their deen. It is like it's half their religion. So you're not even halfway there unless you're married. That's a cultural thing there that I do think. I think we can kind of, sort of, kind of adopt that, but we don't have a basis to adopt that under. That is adopted under the pretenses that if you don't, you go to hell. Here we have all sorts of religions here. We don't have that sort of basis to say, well, if you don't get married by the age of 30, you're going to hell. Like we don't have that sort of urgency for several reasons. So no, that wouldn't work here. But arranged marriages, I mean, it worked in the past because there was other things in play in the culture. Like, okay, marriage was not for love; it was for business. Children were bartered for business, and wives were business arrangements for different reasons. It was not okay. This is my life partner. I find solace in this person. That's not what marriage was for back in them days. But now people can afford to look at people in terms of who they are in their heart space before they take and put a ring on it. You know, like men back in the day couldn't afford to say, oh, well, she don't really appeal to me sexually. That was not really a deal there. You could not make those kind of decisions back in the day. No, it doesn't matter. It couldn't say, oh, well, I'm not attracted to her at all. Like, you didn't have choices like that back in the day. So, you know, we're not there. So this is what I'm saying. Like, my answer, no, we shouldn't be emulating what they're doing, because what they're doing is based on a whole lot of things that we don't have going on here. And I mean, maybe 2% of it, sure. Like, let me find something we could emulate. Okay. The polygyny piece, right? I think the way they practice polygyny makes sense. Meaning this, it's not about your sexual gratification. Polygyny is about, if there's a single mother and she Muslim, go ahead and marry her so you can go to heaven faster. Okay. If there's a widow, she a little overweight, put a ring on. Make sure you go to heaven faster. If there's a girl who her husband just died and she got 6 kids by herself, put a ring on so them kids will have a stepdad. That's how it's done over there. Like, you can have up to 4 wives, but that's how it's done. I give them that. They're not on the whole sexual tip when it comes to polygyny, which is something I hear a lot here in the States when it comes to polygyny and polyamory and all this extra stuff. That's not necessarily how they do it over there. But let me be clear. There is an underground culture there when it comes to sexual relations and marriage. I'm not going to front like that doesn't exist. It does. But for the general people, yeah, like they do that pretty good over there, in my opinion.
Okay, I could see why you don't feel it either, but you know, I think it would help marriages last a lot longer if we did implement their style, man. You know what I mean? Because they got a lot of discipline and they don't jump shit when things go wrong. Like they work shit out. But I feel you on that.
I
Um,
disagree. A hole's going to be a hole, like regardless, whether she's clothed or not. The way how I look at it's like this: you got to choose the right person to be in your life. You know, forget all like you got to put on the extra layers and all that. Like, that woman should already have enough common sense to know that, look, I can't be going outside looking all kinds of ways, looking a little bit more sexual to the eyes of other people. And if she's doing it, then she's not really being a wife. She's being like a thought towards everyone else that's looking at her, whether it be on social media or whether it be like in the crowd. So you got to choose a person that actually is going to implement that for themselves. She should have that type of mind that's like, hey, you know what? You know, what I think I'm wearing right now that normally I probably wear at home, I need to change that. So that way when I'm going out to the public, I'm not embarrassing my husband, you know, or I'm not like bringing attention, but with other guys whenever I'm with them. Even if she's walking like, maybe to the grocery store by herself, she should know better. She's not like a kid or anything. So that's the way how I look at it.
No, he's correct. And what I'll add to that, because the culture is 100% people dress a certain way, their sexuality and their deviancy shows up in other ways. Don't think just because you see a bunch of women in burqas that they're not over there being whole 304s while married. Like,
but
don't
yo,
think
they stats say different though.
their
Like,
stats is a lot. I'm telling you now. My
all
brother-in-law
right,
was in Philly, right? Shorty, whole niqab out, right? We at the Muslim festival. She walks up to him side by side. The only person hearing it is him and maybe one other person. And she says something very obscene to him that she wanted to do, like right then and there, if he was willing to do it. Whole niqab, whole blacked out. And this was something that he experienced the whole time he was up there. And because it was a lot of niqabis there. So it's like, and this is here in America. So imagine what they do in the underground over in their country. And they got more scrutiny here within those small communities than they do in their country. So all I'm saying is that if you're gonna say, well, they're better morally because of how the government enforces how them to dress, that's not the case. And again, you won't know until you've been over there and until you've been in their houses, until you've seen them up close, because it's like my experience of Arabs being around them so much is not, oh, they're just upstanding people because of how they dress. No, Like, no, what M3 says is correct. Like, it's not about them.
Yeah, so let me build on the family real quick. So I think also, I know M3 was saying you got to find somebody who is modest or who knows how to be a wife, but you just got to find somebody who's on the type of time that you on. So if she, if you like those women who are more for the streets and you for the streets too, and y'all both for the streets, and y'all have loose boundaries, and y'all marriage may be a little bit more, I would say, modern or less traditional, and y'all both now y'all about that shit, y'all on the shit, then yeah, it probably could work. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all not doing marriage traditionally the way that has been done all the time. You know what I mean? So you from the streets, she from the streets, and y'all both know y'all on that type of time, it'll work. You know what I mean? Because y'all already know y'all on that type of time. You know what I mean? But if you want to be traditional and then she's for the streets, then it's not gonna work. Or vice versa. You know what I mean? You gotta find somebody who fits you and your lifestyle and how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why the marriages back over there probably will not work here is because we have freedom. All right. We have freedom, we have laws, and we have standards that are put in place, amendments and everything else put in place that protect those freedoms and allows men and women both to move the way they want to move. You know what I'm saying? Even in marriage, we have marriage not just amongst men and women, but amongst men and men, transgenders, and everything else now. So it's completely different. So now if you're going to now change that and now go to a system where you have arranged marriages, you're going to have to change a lot of other shit as well. Like it ain't just gonna just be that and then everything just gonna work out. There's gonna be other chaos because people are used to living a type of lifestyle. So go ahead, y'all.
Rush, do you mind if I go, sir?
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, M3 came up, man.
I'm a little sick right now, so I can't, unfortunately.
Miss Oshun is a liar. Not only is she a liar, she's an over-exaggerator. She hasn't gone to every Middle Eastern country. She hasn't gone into every household in the Middle East, respectfully. When I was in college many years ago, I befriended many Middle Eastern Arabs, particularly Egyptian. Now, are there women whores? It's a possibility. I'm not doubting Miss Oshun on that. Does there exist debauchery inside of Middle Eastern culture? Maybe so. But what those people do, at least from what I've seen, I didn't go to the Middle East, so I can't speak on that. Miss Oshun, if she's went there, she could speak on what she's seen. But what I've seen in America is that the Middle Eastern Arab that is Muslim, particularly from Saudi Arabia, from Egypt, from Morocco, from Yemen. I even had an Iraqi that I met one time. Beautiful people. Their women are quiet. They're dressed up from head to toe. When I was in college, never in my life did I hear any rumors about the Arab Muslim girls being whores, sluts, etc. Do you know who I did hear rumors about? The white girls, the black girls, the Hispanic girls. Never not one Arab Muslim. I'm not bigging these people up. I don't care about the Arab Muslims all like that to big them up. But what I see with my eyes is that these people, they know how to manage women. By nature, the woman, if you don't regulate her behavior, she will get out of line. Who do I see in public twerking? The black woman. Who do I see in public talking loud? The black woman. And acting a fool? The black woman or the Hispanic woman. I even see a lot of white girls doing this now. And you know why? It's because the society here has allowed for freedoms that other societies, they have recognized and they have said, no. You're not going to cry grape because you're going to walk with a group of men. We're going to kill all that. You're not going to cry grape because we're going to force you to dress from head to toe. See, these things will eliminate the animal behavior that men have, biologically speaking. You're not to be out in public past a certain time without a male being in the company of a man. So I say this, Rush, to end it, my good sir. If I want to emulate math, I'm going to look at the Japanese or the Chinese. If I want to play basketball really good, I'm going to look at Negroes. If I want to manage women, I'm going to look at the Arab. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did. Now, I will admit, am I a follower of the Nation of Islam? No. But I love their teachings, and they certainly got their teachings from the Middle Eastern Arabs. Now, whoever founded Islam is one thing. I'll give you guys that. Maybe blacks did found it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that for black men, and I've been doing this since I've been a kid, you have to be like those Arab men. Shut your mouth when men are talking. Rush, I've told you this story 1,000 times, and I know I'm being long-winded. I was kicking it with this girl a long time ago. You know who Petey that comes to the channel, Rush? Petey in real life can be very argumentative. That's my fraternity brother, by the way. The girl that I was kicking it with, him and her got into a debate about politics. Now, previously, I told her, do not get into any conversations with men that you don't know. So she's at my house. She decides to have a conversation with my fraternity brother. Now, of course, him being a man, he dominated the conversation. Do you know what she did, Rush? She looked at me and said, oh, you ain't going to say nothing to him? I said, absolutely not. I told you from the get-go not to have conversations with men you don't know. See, an Arab woman would have shut her mouth. An Arab woman would have listened from the get-go. See, now you want me to fight your battle? I'm not about to fight my fraternity brother for you. By the way, my fraternity brother is a professional fighter too. Are you crazy? So you're going to put my life in danger because you are upset? See, the Arab, he figured this out thousands of years ago. I believe that a lot of Arab men were getting killed by simps back in the day. I believe a lot of Arabs were alcoholics back in the day, and something in their society said, we got to stop a lot of this nonsense. I'm not bigging these people up. God knows I'm not. I love niggas. But I'm telling you what I've seen, Hink. What I've seen, Miss Oshun. What I've seen, Tommy. What I've seen, Lady and Rush. You gotta force these American women to behave like those Arab women. You see a woman out the house dressed half naked, it is your duty, Hink. Shame her. When I was a teacher, I remember it like it was yesterday, man. Some of those girls would come to school. I would go to the principal and say, she needs to go home. Well, why are you looking at her? She needs to take her ass home because I know you liberal women ain't going to say nothing. But what if something happens to her? She could blame any and everybody on her poor pattern of behavior because her mammy, whoever her daddy is, ain't said nothing to her. See, the black man has forgotten his true nature in life. You got to shame him. Don't drink around women that you don't even know. Because if the broad passes out drunk, she will lie or she will say that you raped her. But the Arab man figured it out. When we were in college, even after college, I didn't see Arabs drinking and partying. I saw blacks and whites acting like fools. And on that note, sorry about that, man. I blacked out. Man, I'm just passionate about.
I got one question. I got one question for him. So, Kayade, you're gonna pull up to the hood, right? And you're gonna see a woman dressed kind of out there, and you're gonna shame her in front of all the homies on the block, and hope you make it out alive.
Sir,
you gonna do that?
You are implying, sir, that the black man in the hood is violent. This is what you're doing. You're telling me, sir, that black people are so savage and so evil that they would physically harm me or even kill me because I'm correcting a behavior. See, this is the problem in the black community. I don't fear blacks the way that you do, sir. And I would never go up to a random woman and call her a hoe. I would say, sweetheart, maybe you shouldn't be dressed like that in public. I've done that before. Maybe you shouldn't come out the house with a skirt that is 8 inches up on your leg. I wouldn't disrespect her in front of 20 dudes. No. We got to stop being scared of each other, sir. Go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I want to get Hank's perspective on this. Like, do you remember the question, Hank, or you got me? You need me to say it again?
Now you need to remind me between OSHA and chaotic, man. Goddamn
Well,
filibusters.
the question is, should we emulate the style of the Middle East? Because they do arranged marriages, and also they have the females wear head coverings and they cover their bodies. They don't show no skin. Talk to me.
Look, I can agree with arranged marriages. I think that's a great idea, but over here it's not gonna fly. Yeah, these heifers got too much freedom, man. So you might as well forget that bullshit. They ain't gonna.
Yo, that's the point though, to get rid of that. You know what I mean? To get rid of that con, for us to adopt that kind of style, and implement it into our social construct. You know what I mean? Because right now, man, we kind of out of control with it, man.
I mean, I agree, but look here, as men, we got options. We need to exercise them options. And if this lady's not what you're looking for, or is willing to rock with you the way you want her to rock with you, have nothing to do with her ass. Have nothing to do with her ass. I wouldn't. And if you figure out earlier she's a hoe, treat her as such. Give her goddamn 20 minutes of dick and get the fuck out. You're not my girlfriend. I'm gonna use you and abuse you, and I'm gonna Uber you back to the streets. Ain't nothing going on here. We ain't got no relationship. You just a piece of ass to me. Now, you find that right lady, you treat her with the utmost respect. Now, you heard what I said. I said lady. There's a difference between woman and a lady. You find that right lady, you treat her with the utmost respect. And if you feel like she's good enough, then bless her with your last name. But nah, man. I mean, look here. I'm not saving these heifers. I'm not trying to fight with them. I'm not trying to argue with them. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm not protecting you hoes. It's not my job to protect. If you're not in my family, if you're not my wife, if you're not my daughter, so any kin to me, and your family ain't got to be in blood. If you're not a close friend, I'm not protecting you. So them women who want to act like that, man, hey, good luck with that situation. I wish you nothing but the best. But you ain't got to worry about Hank messing with you. You got to have them papers signed. And if you ain't going to sign the papers, E and OSHA, then I can't protect you like I should. I'm sorry. They know what I'm talking about, Rush.
Hey, Rush, M3 backstage, bro.
Word out. I definitely feel I feel you on that, Hank, man. You know what I mean? But I feel like if we did, implement their style, and we would have better results on having long term marriages. You know what I mean? Because our stats show that over 50% of marriages end up in divorce, and 75% of the time it's the female that initiates the divorce. Man, I think we need something new to get in the mix for our social construct. You heard?
Well, look, don't make divorce an option in your relationship. Don't make it an option. So more so, you got to encourage the women to do that more so than the man. But don't make it an option. Whatever we going through, we gonna figure this shit out. We gonna work it out somehow, some way. We gonna work this shit out, man. Whether we gotta go get a marital counseling, or if you feel like you need to talk to your pastor, if that's what you need to do, we're gonna have to work this shit out. Going to get in the bedroom, lock ourselves in there until we figure this shit out. Let's figure it out, and don't try to use the first move when we come to some type of disagreement. I'm ready to move out. I'm ready to get divorced. Oh man, let's eliminate that out of the equation, and maybe the statistics get a little bit better. Maybe it won't be as much as 51%. Maybe it be 45. It's a little bit better. What say you, Chaos? I know you got all the answers, brother.
Nah, man, I'm listening to you guys. I don't want to take over the panel real quick. Sorry about that. I went on. I blacked up for a minute. Go ahead.
Hey, yo, Tommy, what's good, man? What's your thoughts on this, man? You remember the question? Talk to me.
The Middle Eastern shit.
What that dude ain't shit, man.
I mean, I don't. To be honest with you, it ain't on you; it's in you. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think clothing dictates any of that shit. It's whether you want to. Because one thing I disagree with what M3 said about the woman dressing that way, it shouldn't be for her husband. It should be for herself. It should be because she don't want to embarrass herself, not because she don't want to embarrass her husband. If you ain't embarrassing yourself, then you coincidentally won't embarrass your husband. And so in finding her, she would already be dressing like that because she don't want to embarrass herself. You understand what I'm saying? And I think also like the fact that you're asking this is kind of the problem with a lot of dudes because niggas want to reform broads that dress a certain way. Just go find when they dress. It's plenty of females that dress moderately. Y'all niggas want to reform hoes. That's y'all problem. Find the ones that dress moderately and go snatch them up. They constantly complain about they don't get the attention that the ones that dress like that for, and then niggas, want to go to the ones that dress that way and go, oh, they should dress this way. They should dress this way. So it's plenty of them out here that dress moderately. The problem is niggas don't get them attention. So if you want one that dress moderately, go find one that dress moderately. It's that simple. But it just seems to be that simple to me. I don't know.
I mean, it's not. I think we focus on the clothes too much, man. I'm looking at it from a cultural aspect because their culture allowed them to stick together through thick and thin. You know what I mean, and
Yeah,
the
but
stat shows it, man. Like,
but the
I mean, whether
problem
you
with it
agree with
is
it or not, you know what I mean.
the problem it is you want to nitpick their culture. So you want to go, oh, I want to implement this part, but don't implement this part. Well, it's a whole culture. So you let me know how you gonna feel when your daughter is under that rule and then she getting her head chopped off some weird shit that some weird rule that they got over there. Then all of a sudden you go, oh no, I want to go back to the American rules. For me, it's either you take it all or none. You don't nitpick it because I think the reason why they shit works is because they have a system implemented. It's not just they dress this way. If they dress this way, they think this way, they move this way, etc., etc. Part of the reason why their marriages work that way is because the consequences of that shit breaking up. So again, when your daughter end up in that situation, and for whatever reason she don't want to be with that dude no more, and she want to leave, and her life or whatever is on the line because she want to leave, then you're gonna be thinking about that shit totally differently.
Yeah, I don't plan to have kids, you know what I mean, but I think it
Well, I
works.
mean,
Right?
somebody that do got kids, shit, or
Yeah,
or
I mean, yeah.
any female that you care about, if you care about any female, like
I mean, yeah, it can be a bit extreme. You right, but I mean, like it works though. You get caught stealing out there, they might chop your left hand off. It works. Niggas don't steal like that out there. You know
you
what I
said it
mean?
works, but guess what? They still chopping off hands.
Yeah, I know it's a bit extreme, but I rocks with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Chaotic.
I get that
Uh,
you rock with it until those consequences touch home. Then you'll be
Right,
thinking a lot differently about it.
right. So does your child that's getting his hands chopped off or his feet chopped off or
That
something like
motherfucker
that?
pulling back a goddamn nub then.
Hey, sounds good.
Right.
Till,
Sound
till, till his motherfucking hand is on that board.
Well, I better have my life insurance up together, Paul, then again. God, what you thinking about? Nah, but I mean, I agree with Tom. Like you said, you can't adopt parts of the culture, not adopt the whole. Look, what we got here is good. We just got to find the right people who we can match with. At the end of the day, man, if she's not your style, then don't get with her. Don't even waste your time. But if she is, then go for it. And vice versa, women with men. If this dude not your style, then don't go with it. But if he is, go for it.
I feel you on that. Yo, chaotic man, come on, man, chime in, man. Let me get your thoughts on this, man. Talk to me.
No, I was just looking at Hank for a minute, man. I'm telling you, man, Hank, I bet that's happened before. Has a kid ever said, Mr. Coach Hank, call me by my pronoun? And you look like the type to say, man, fuck all that pronoun shit, right? Hold on, don't he look like that, Rush? Okay, I'm sorry. What was the question, Rush?
Yo, the question is, do you think we as a people from the United States should emulate the style of the people from
You
the
already answered
Middle
that.
East?
Yeah, I already
You know what I
answered
mean?
that. I said the women definitely should emulate some of the culture. And I think to a degree, Miss Oshun is right. She definitely brought a lot of data behind her. And like I said, if she's went over there, she saw something, then I have no other point but not to believe her because she's went there. I can only see what I saw in America. But I mean, to a degree, she's probably right, because I don't think that a country like Afghanistan has census bureaus, people walking around collecting data. I kind of agree with her on that. I don't think a lot of those third world Middle Eastern countries collect data for real. So hey, I gotta look at, I gotta agree with her on that. I don't think the police are just collecting stats like, okay, like in America where we have the FBI, BCI reports, all that. I don't think they're doing all that there. I don't think they get paid enough nor cared enough to do it. So I agree with her on that. Miss Oshun, by the way, are you familiar with the Artemis Project?
You asked that question on another panel.
To
Why are
you?
asking me that question?
Really? You have a NASA hat on?
Yeah, I've been to NASA. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's why I asked you. That's why I asked. Yeah, I mean, you had a NASA hat on. I was like, you know.
Yo, Miss Oshun, man, stop being shy, man. Do your thing. I got you on the shit for a reason.
Miss Ocean single. Lola, you single? That's what they want to know. There she go. Why you getting out of your life shy? Don't do that. You better than that, Lola.
You know what, Hank? What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk behind the scenes, because see, I see what you're trying to do. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help the man out. The man look like he's trying to shoot a shot. I'm trying to help the brother out.
Okay, Hank.
Yo, so expound on the Artemis project, Miss Oshun, man. Let us know something.
I mean, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I mean, NASA has a lot of projects. The government has a lot of projects. All governments, essentially, or most of them, have similar projects. Everybody's trying to race to the moon and Mars and colonize it. So, I mean, I don't know what's so special about that. We're kind of late.
Well, I think what the Artemis Project is the next step into human development. Is certainly on a step in, or the doorstep of Civilization 1 type travel. I mean, with Elon Musk and SpaceX making frequent flights to Earth's lower atmosphere. You got China now; they have their own space station. It's going to be a lot of, I call it the next great space race. And imagine all the resources that are just within our own solar system. So colonizing the moon, possibly terraforming Mars. I mean, I can only imagine what would that do for Earth in terms of the inhabitants on here. I mean, imagine finding an asteroid in the asteroid belt that has, I don't know, an abundance of diamond or gold or something. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's really interesting that they're gonna going back to the Artemis project, but going back to Mars. I mean, going back to the moon and setting up a base there creates a lot of jobs. And who's to say what kind of technology will be created because of this mission? But anyway, sorry, I was
going to go there first to go back.
I beg your pardon?
I said we had to have winter first to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the second great step. The first time we went to the moon, it was really for high ground, to see who can control high ground between the Russians.
For Hollywood, bro. It's fake as fuck.
You think it's fake?
Come on, bro. We're in 2023 and we struggling to get back there, motherfucker. Come on.
No,
bro.
Well, here's the thing, Tommy. Here's the thing. There was a Cold War between America and the United States. Going into Earth's lower atmosphere was more or less about setting up defense in space, weaponry, etc. It was never really about exploration in the first place.
Yeah,
I think now, yeah. So I'm saying I don't know whether it's fake or not. I'm assuming that it's real. I hate it when, and you're talking to your opinion. I just like, even when people talk about the pyramids, they say, "Oh, that was built by aliens." Is it possible to believe that some of these great feats in human endeavor are actually done by human beings? So I think we went there in 1968 or 7, whatever year it was, 69, and I think that we're gonna go back, man. I don't think it's fake, man. But you're entitled to your opinion.
No, I just always ask this question: what can we not do better and more efficiently now that we couldn't do back in 60, whenever that's supposed to happen? Almost nothing. Exactly.
I mean, I can't answer that question as to why we never went back or haven't went back since the 70s, since the Apollo 14 or whatever, when it Apollo 14 or 15. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, the explanation I got was we lost some pretty important.
We lost the telemetry data.
Which to me is like, oh, that's kind of some important shit to be losing. But okay.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Hank, what's up, man?
Sound like you, brother. I mean, you just started shit, man. They want to know if you the troll of the night.
No. I'm just over here talking, man. You know, what am I trolling for? What am I trolling? What am I doing?
I mean, that's Lola feel like you the troll.
Troll? What am I trolling?
You like a lifetime troll to her, but you know.
Look at him, man.
He thinks you're a troll. I don't know, man. I don't know why they feel like you that man. You just a man who's.
I mean, sometimes chaotic can be a bit overwhelming, but he means good, man. That's why I rocks with him because he keeps it 100. You know what I mean? That's why I rocks with my boy chaotic. You heard? Now, my next question for this panel is like, is it important for a male to always hold on to his masculine frame while he's in the relationship, and always be assertive while he's dealing with his female in that relationship? Talk to me.
You got to stand on your pivot, bro. And a perfect example what I was talking about earlier about, finding a chick for you type thing is I was dealing with a chick and we ended up in a debate on whether it was going to be a partnership or I was going to be the leader. And I graciously was like, I respect your opinion. Have a nice life. I'm not about to argue with you. I'm not about to try to change your mind. None of that shit. The way that you think don't fit the way that I think. Enjoy your life. I ain't got to beef with you. We can still be friends and all that shit. And I think that's what more people need to get to, instead of you hearing her go, oh, this is a partnership and you don't agree with that. And it's like, fuck you. Like, nah, it ain't got to be all that. Okay, that's how you think. Okay, I appreciate that. Enjoy your life. Like, it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to stand on your square because, if you give an inch, you're going to give a mile. And you feel me? And for the most part, I think most women would tell you, if a dude that don't stand in their square, they gonna lose respect for. It's just what it is. Once they feel like they can get away with shit on you, once they feel like they could, change this and this about you, it's a wrap, bro. I mean, it's just that's what it is.
Yo, Mr. Best, man, let me get your perspective on this, man. Talk to me.
So are we still talking about the whole arranged marriage ordeal still? That's still where we at? Or have we moved the conversation kind of forward?
Nah, we on move forward on how it's important for a dude to hold masculine framing in a relationship and always remain assertive. Talk to me.
Oh man, it depends on the relationship. I prefer that. Like, that's my preference. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I prefer to do that. But relationships now, you know what I mean? Like, it's different. You know what I mean? And our experiences are the way that we move is different. You know what I mean? Even within our own culture. I'm just talking about specifically Black culture. I'm not talking about any other culture. Specifically in Black culture, everybody moves differently. You have different, variations and denominations when it comes to religion, whether it's Christianity or Islam. You know what I'm saying? So, based on that, we all view masculinity and femininity differently. You know what I mean? And we all approach it differently. So we got some of us who are born here. You got some of us who are coming from, the South. Some of us coming from the North, the East, the West, whatever. Some of us are coming straight from Africa or the Caribbean or wherever we coming from. So all of our experiences are different. How we approach masculinity and how we approach femininity is completely different. You know what I mean? So I may have rules in my house that some dudes be like, yo, man, you mad controlling. But I'm like, I ain't controlling. Like, I don't want my woman on the phone after 10:30. You know what I mean? Like, what she got? Who's she talking to after 10:30? You know what I mean? Like, what is there to talk about? Like, handle your business in the daytime. Some people may feel like, nah, that's a little too strict, man. Like, why she got to be off the phone by 10:30? Like, she an adult. You know what I mean? So everybody has their different rules and ways they want to run their household. You know what I mean? Some dudes don't want their girl to go to the store by themselves. My girl go to the store anytime she want by herself, as long as it's not late at night. You know what I'm saying? So everybody moves differently, man. Everybody's views of masculinity, everybody's views of how they want their household run is different. So there's gonna be rules and parameters that you have that we all have set up in our house as men or as women that's gonna be different than the next man. So Rush, you may have certain rules that you like, yo, this is how it's going down. Know what I mean? And that's it. And I'll be like, nah, Rush, like, yo, you ain't got to do all that. You're doing too much. You're like, nah, Best, like, that's how I'm doing it, though. He ain't got his way of doing things. Chaotic got his way. Tommy got his way. Every man got his way of doing things in his household. You know what I'm saying? So, and some of my homeboys are the same way. Sometimes they have different rules, and I'm like, that ain't gonna really work for me. You know what I mean? But certain rules, I'm like, yo, that definitely rocks and that definitely aligns with what I believe and what I want to do. So it's gonna be different depending on the man and how he runs when he runs his house. And then when you get down to the children, then yeah, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. Once you add kids into the dynamic, then everybody's gonna have different rules for their kids. Some people want their kids to be on technology, some don't. You know what I mean? Some people want to limit what their kids read. Some don't care what their kids read. They can read whatever they want because they want them to know about the whole world. So everybody's different, man. It depends on the man and his morals, ethics, and I guess also his religious background as well. So yeah.
I I would have to ask too, like, what would people consider like a successful marriage? And I say that because like it just popped in my head when I was listening to him talk. Like, I got a homeboy, and the way his parents' house is run, it would drive you niggas nuts. Like, his mom's runs that motherfucker, and I'm like, I ain't even joking. I'm talking about like his pops down there walk around on pins and needles around that motherfucker. But they've been married for like 30, 40 years, still married to this day. I mean, so a lot of times I'll be wondering, what do people even consider a successful marriage? Because I mean, shit, they've been married 30, 40 years and still rocking. That shit works for them. But if that relationship was to play out in front of most of these guys here, their head would fucking explode. So
Yeah, dang. Yeah, Tommy, I think mine's exploded when you just said that. I couldn't imagine walk around on pins and needles around my wife. Damn. Hey, good luck to them though.
I mean, bro, they've been right. We used to laugh, like we used to be outside and she call him, and he, God damn it, dude, like, bro, she used to be hilarious to watch. But like I said, I mean, how can you argue with 30, 40 years and still rocking?
Hey, man, if he's okay with it, I'm good with it.
That's how I
So
look at it. But it's a crazy dynamic.
I mean, it is a dynamic, but that's the key. It's a dynamic. There's a lot of dynamics out here, and this is why putting your online face out there for your relationship, how great your relationship is kind of stupid because nobody knows the inner workings of your relationship. And so when you want others to think, oh, everything is great, we're living a life, while behind the scenes, it's a whole mess. And it's so much of a mess that the average person would not put up with it at all. Like, this is where I think we go left. Personally, I don't do the whole, well, because you've been together that means you're successful, because you could be being emasculated every day as a man, as a woman. You could, a whole lot could be going on. It doesn't mean that he's taking care of you, being a man to you, just because you with him for X amount of years. This is the danger in that whole, well, they have a successful marriage because they just haven't broken the legal contract. Meanwhile, they've already cheated. They've already brought home babies. They've already lied about paternity. They've already just totally done the worst things you can do in a marriage. They cut off all intimacy. Like, that's a jail right there. That's not success. So, I mean, I get it. We would ideally like for relationships to work, but that's the difference between relationships working and marriages working. If your relationship works, your marriage comes automatically in terms of working. But if your marriage doesn't work, your relationship is worse off. It doesn't even count at this point. So that's why I don't focus on successful relationships via how many years they've been together. It's like, that right there is for the individuals involved. Like if y'all made it to 4 years and y'all feel like y'all have accomplished something because you went through a lot in those 4 years, that's for y'all to celebrate together. That's not for me to say, oh wow, you have a successful marriage. That's not for me to say that, because you could have a 2-year marriage that's more successful than somebody that's been in a marriage 50 years unhappy. That could have been the case. So I don't make those assumptions or judgments. I personally don't do that.
But if they're able to figure a way out how to get through all that bullshit you just named, somehow, some way, and remain to stay together.
No,
I mean, you
that's
gotta give them
what
credit.
I said. That's what I said
But
in the
look,
beginning.
if they okay with it, if they are able to stick it out, who am I to say, man, that's not successful?
Well, no,
Because
that's
if
what
they're able to find a way to get through it, regardless.
You have to listen to what I'm saying on both sides, and don't
I
just
heard
take the side that you feel you want to hear. What I said is I don't judge those relationships based on years. That's for the people in it to judge whether or not it's successful or not. Not for me to say, oh, they have a successful relationship. No matter what they have, i.e., it's not for me to say it's successful or not. It's for them to determine that. And if you're in a relationship or marriage and you're unhappy, no matter how many years, if you feel like you're successful simply because you don't have no more options, or you're just there and you feel like, hey, this is success for me, that's cool for you. But for other people, being unhappy or emasculated as a man in a marriage might not be goals for him. So it's like at the end of the day, you judge your success based on your goals, but don't put it to anybody else that, oh, we've been together for 35 years with this, and that means we successful. I don't know if that's successful. He could be having sex with a whole nother man, and she could be not giving him none ever. That to me is not. They made it 34 years.
If they deem that success for them, it don't matter about your opinion, Lola. Your opinion doesn't matter. If he does, if they determine that's successful, then that's successful for them.
You're repeating what I'm saying.
Yeah, y'all saying the same thing, Hank.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying, who are we to say though?
So
I'm not even talking to Lola no more. I'm just talking about in general.
The reason why I brought up my bad, Hank. The reason why I brought up the years is because generally your goal in getting married is for it to last forever, correct? So that's the only reason why I brought up the years, because if you've been together 2 years in a marriage, I don't know how that could be successful when your vows say forever. Like, unless somebody passed away, and I'm just asking a question. I'm not talking like I know all the answers, but I'm saying I think that's why generally people judge it by the length of time, because when you go into it, you're usually thinking forever.
Can I just throw a wrench in there and ask, like, you spoke on the vows, but what if you wrote your vows and it didn't include forever? You have a lot of people who are writing their own vows.
Yeah, that would be a completely different situation. But I'm just saying, I mean, I think overwhelmingly the majority of people going to marriage, they're thinking forever. I don't think they're thinking like, okay, 10 years from now, we're going to go ahead and shake this shit up. Like,
I mean, actually, in today's day and age, I think a lot of people go into marriages with divorce being an option. And it might be why the divorce rate is so high.
Listen,
but then the question, look, I ain't arguing with you either. And the reason why I said that was because there was someone on another panel that kept pushing, no matter what happens, you're supposed to stick it out. You're supposed to stick it together. And it's like based on the vows, but not everybody recites the same vows.
I mean, there's a thing called muttak, in the East, and that is temporary marriage. And that right there is, you can say, listen, we married for 3 days, 72 hours, 6 hours, just enough to get this nut legally on a piece of paper, and that's equal to any other marriage. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it can go a whole lot of ways. And if that's your successful 3-hour marriage because you did not cheat on her for 3 hours, you had all the sex you could get, and the contract it ran out, hey, that's success too. Don't take away from them. Hank, what do you think about that?
Why are you asking me? I don't believe in the East mindset, so I don't give a goddamn about that.
Oh, you don't.
Yo, hold on. I gotta throw in the monkey wrench right now, man. I gotta throw in the monkey wrench, yo.
And if that's what you believe, then ride with it. I don't give a goddamn. But if your heifer ass is gonna be ready to leave at the the sight of trouble, yeah, that's a problem for me. Write your own vows. If somewhere in your vows, I need to read where it says forever. Because guess what? You're gonna write your vows. I'm definitely gonna look over it. Make sure I'm approving this bullshit. What the fuck you talking about, woman? Oh hell no. No, we ain't it's ain't
I,
gonna
uh, I need to ask this panel this, man. What are your thoughts on the Netflix documentary on Freaknik, man? Is it going to cause a ripple effect for these old ladies that, you know what I mean, that did some crazy things? Because, you know, a lot of them done transition into a different lifestyle from what they used to be. Talk to me.
let all them heifers be exposed.
It
I
ain't
don't
about
give a
that.
goddamn.
Yo, chaotic, man. Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. It is nothing wrong with what these women or men were doing at the Freaknik. I made a show about this the other day. The debauchery in terms of dancing and twerking, that's been a part of the black woman's DNA for eons, 50,000 years. The goddamn ancient Egyptians literally drew black women twerking. I made live streams about it. Literally, the Babylonians who were black literally have images of black women in braids dancing and twerking, you know, popping that booty. It's a part of their DNA. Why be ashamed of it? Either you're going to be ashamed of it and try to fix it, or just say, hey man, this is a part of my DNA. This is what I'm black. Hey man, this my ancient ancestors were doing. And I can't help it. Smoking weed, doing drugs. That's a part of black culture. They were doing this stuff in tens of thousands of years ago. So what I would tell these black women is, listen, don't be ashamed of it. Embrace it. It's a part of your heritage. You know, that's what I would say, Rush. You know, I talked about this the other day, man. Go ahead, sir. I don't know why they would. I think let the documentary play. Keep on.
Yeah, man. I mean, because it's like,
The freak
Hey,
Nick.
big dog. I don't think the twerking is the problem.
It's not just the twerking, it's everything. It's nothing wrong with that. I mean, why be ashamed of what God told you to do in the Bible? Be fruitful and multiply.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to see the divorce rate shift, let them do a military documentary, boy. It'll be some divorces out the ass of that motherfucker.
That's my thank you so much, Tommy. But that's my answer, Rush. I feel like unless we fix it, why are we being what's so shameful about it?
I mean, it's like, I mean, can you imagine like like if you got a grandmother that was in Freaknik, like,
Who cares?
you know what I
Why?
mean?
Why be ashamed of it?
I guess it's not a big deal, you know. But
Rush, unless they correct, unless somebody says, you know what, we're gonna correct this behavior, we're gonna keep this in the house, etc. But if you are openly twerking and dancing, doing drugs, having sex in public, acting like a fool, then don't be ashamed of it. And then when people say, well, that's what black people do, don't be ashamed of it. Don't cry racism. Don't say people are
no, but
exploiting.
some of these people got like corporate jobs.
So
Some of these
what?
people
What's so
are in
wrong
law
with it?
enforcement. Like, yo,
Right.
this dude that's in law enforcement, he about to lose his gig because of that. Know what I mean?
Rush, I have been on panels, and I'm going to put this Negro's name out, Jay Prince. He said, well, why should I change my name? Why should I change the way that I speak to fit in with corporate America? A lot of blacks are like that. So when I say, well, most blacks have a way of speaking that is not in line with the European way by nature, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. But my thing is, if these women have corporate jobs all of a sudden, why be ashamed of it? You don't have a problem with telling the boss man how you're gonna wear your hair. I'm gonna wear my hair like Erykah Badu. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. So why not tell the boss man, hey, I'm just twerking. That's a part of my culture. Be proud of the twerk. Be proud of your behavior at the Freaknik. Go ahead, Rush. You got the floor.
And trust me, them white girls up there working with you, they got a pass too.
They sure do.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I seen Miss Oshun had a reaction on when I talked about the documentary, man. Let me get your perspective on that.
Wait,
Talk
can
to
I
me.
say one thing before she speaks? to just kind of add on to what Chaotic Truth. Remember, you had Girls Gone Wild video that they used to sell for $19.99 after 11 p.m. back in the 90s.
Yeah, but that dude locked up for that though.
And ma'am, and what I will keep on saying,
and it's still circulating.
it's right. Whether they're black, white, whatever, they are practicing what is in their nature. You don't see the Asians in America acting like that. You don't see the Arabs because they stopped that shit a long time ago. They focus more on intellectual pursuits. And
you just haven't seen it yet. They're there, but you just haven't seen it yet.
Show me somewhere in China right now where
it's a hell of a lot of Asian porn out there, bro.
Show me a marketplace in China, one of those big cities, and you see random Chinese women, shaking their asses in public like you do black chicks. Show me.
They have their own section.
Show me,
bro.
Oh man, hold on.
No, hold on for a second.
Check out the damn here, big brother.
It gotta come natural. Hold on for a second. Show me a big ass mega cities. Show me any marketplace, any plaza where the Chinese women are. Show me. I bet you can't. They may have porno all damn day, but I bet you because they know how to behave in public, and that's been a part of their culture.
Massage parlor.
They shame people. Go ahead.
There's a huge Middle Eastern.
They behave different in public though, but you will still catch them on the street. They'll come to you and ask you if you want a happy ending, you want a massage, you want to add this onto it. That's known. They may not fuck you on the street, but they'll fuck you somewhere else.
And that's publicly known.
and also there's knowledge of it being in Middle Eastern culture that there's Middle Eastern men who like to also mess around with other men. Do your research.
Are the Arab women twerking?
Do your
public?
research, brother.
Yes,
Do your research.
Whoa. Hold on for a second. I'm not disagreeing with anybody. I am just asking.
Like you don't know what's in them streets over there. It's like we're listening to you out of sheer respect, not because you know anything about that. Stop it. They twerk, dude. And guess what they twerking? A burqa.
Miss O'Shun, hold on for a minute. I am just asking a question. I've never seen it, sweetheart. Do women in Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, ma'am, show me the videos.
Go look it up on YouTube.
Ma'am. I don't have time, ma'am.
Arab countries. Go look it up.
Ma'am.
Go look it up.
Ma'am. I'm not disagreeing with you. You could be right. I've never gone to the Middle East, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't see that here in the States. I see black women and white women acting like fools. And so when hold on for a second. So if these documentaries come out, don't be ashamed of it. Just embrace it. But all I'm saying is I don't see Arab women doing that. I don't see them with a burqa on in public, like, shaking their booties with the I don't see that. I just don't. I don't see Chinese women doing it or the Japanese women. I just don't see it. It could happen.
How do you feel about the geisha women?
Ma'am, first of all, ma'am, the geisha are a small subsect of women. That is first of all, let's not stop. Okay, you're trying to make it seem like that the geishas are the predominant culture in Japan. That's not true. The majority.
I never said that. I just asked the question. I never said they're the predominant. I just said I asked you how you felt about them. That's all I said. I didn't say anything. You're adding stuff to it.
Just like women.
I just asked the question.
Let me answer
who twerk.
But you want to add other stuff to it. I just asked the simple question. Don't go jumping into conclusions.
Ma'am, can I ask the question?
Don't jump into conclusions.
Can I answer your question, please? Like I've said before, the geisha, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Jews, they have better cultures than almost everybody else on the planet. I can give you the evidence, but that's not, I don't have the time for that. What I think about the geisha is this. The geisha has been a traditional art form for thousands of years, particularly within feudal Japan. Feudal Japan doesn't exist anymore. So whether the geisha operated as sex slaves, prostitutes, etc., or just dancers, I wouldn't know. But what I do know is right now in this day, My brother, whom by the way lived in Japan for 2 years, he told me that it was like being in heaven over there. The women did not act debaucherous because they have a shaming culture. So until black people start shaming these types of women, then what I say is this: well, just embrace it. Embrace the debauchery, the whoredom. That's all I say. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, we heard you. Please.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
I was just asking a question.
It's too many people talking. One at a time, guys. Guys, one at a time. Mr. Best.
Hold on. Just like you say, the gangsters are a small subculture of women over there. Women who twerk and act ratchet is a small subculture.
Okay.
Not every black person does that.
Okay.
So not every black is.
Okay. So if what you're saying is true, if twerking is a small subculture of black women,
and there it is,
then sir, then okay. Then why? Okay, then it doesn't really affect us, then, right? So let the documentary play out.
Since nobody said it wasn't. So why,
ma'am? I'm talking to ma'am. Give me a second. I'm talking to Mr. Beth.
Yo, speak, please.
All right, yo, let's play nice, man. Come on, man. Let Kenyatta finish what he got to say. Then Ocean's next, right?
All I'm saying is that if twerking is a small subset of black women or women in the Western Hemisphere, then it really shouldn't matter then at this point. It should just be like a novelty, like a niche. So let it happen. Hey, that's just a little niche. Who cares? It ain't affecting me. It ain't affecting nobody in my family. Let it happen. Go ahead, sir. Hopefully that answers your question. Go ahead.
Yo, shoot, man, come back, man.
You did answer my question, but what I'm saying is that the black experience is a varied experience, as I shared earlier. Some of us are from here, some of us are from the Caribbean, some of us are from Latin America, South America, Africa, UK. We're from everywhere, especially if you're dealing here in the States. Unless you live in the middle of nowhere, in the South or somewhere else, and no shame to the South, but if you live in a major American city and you meet somebody of color, they could be literally from anywhere. And their experience can be anything. Not all of us grew up in the hood. Not all of us grew up middle class. Some of us grew up Fresh Prince style. Or some of us elevated to that. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody is the same, and not everybody believes in the same. Hell, we don't even believe you could have two black people that are Christian and they believe completely different things. One may be Catholic, one may be Protestant. And what I'm saying basically is that our experience, our values, and our views is different depending on who you speak to. But you know, chaotic.
What are you talking about, sir? I know we're not.
I don't take you serious, bro. But I'm just giving you.
Sir.
I'm giving you some insight. That's all.
Sir, I never said that black people were a monolith. I'm talking about behaviors in the Western Hemisphere, my good sir. And what I see, sir, you mentioned the Caribbean. You can't pretend, sir, you can't pretend that the Caribbean, most of the Caribbean, is not a bunch of black women there who are famously known for twerking. My God, they have a big festival in New York that highlights this culture. You don't have a big twerking event in New York for Asian women walking around naked looking like goddamn peacocks. Come on, man. Who you talking to, man?
Bro, who you talking to? Obviously, you didn't hear what I said. At the end of the day, I said if you're in a major city in America, right? What you're talking about Western culture, you come in any major city, whether it's Atlanta, anywhere, New York, LA, anywhere else, and you meet a
bruh. I answered.
They could have a different.
I answered the question, sir. About sir, you know what?
They have different experiences.
Sir, I answered the question.
Meet me again, I will leave.
I answered the question.
All right, I'm out. Later, y'all.
All right, bye-bye. I answered the question about Freaknik. If you don't want to hear my goddamn answer, so be it. I don't give a ass about your answer. I am free to give my opinion and perspective. Why does that bother you, Mr. World, that I said let the women react in a certain way because it's a part of their culture? I gave reasons as to why I believe that. Why does that bother you? I have a right to talk. It's an open panel on the internet. This isn't a goddamn congressional hearing. You emotional Negroes kill me. We're talking about something that's not putting money in my pocket or anybody else's pocket, and you're mad at me because I'm giving my opinion, sir? It's just my opinion. Rush asked me a goddamn question. Can I answer this man? Go ahead.
Yo, man, it's all good, man. You know what I mean? It's just, just want to have a little
Man,
civil
it's like it's gonna be a
discourse, man.
panel or not.
You know what I mean? Yo,
Yeah,
shoot, man,
carnival.
let's get your
It's
perspective,
like,
man. Come
it's
on.
like, why are we
It's in the
pretending?
back.
Why are we pretending? Do we see a carnival of Chinese women going around with looking like peacocks with feathers on, dancing and twerking with their breasts out? Fuck no. Because that is not a part of their culture. So to answer your question about the Freaknik for the 30,000th goddamn time, let the women just cry and complain because we constantly endorse this behavior. So fuck it. Back in the 90s when I was a kid, most black men didn't give a fuck about Sade. You know what they cared about, Rush? Lil Kim. Man, don't give me. I heard about what she did at the concert. Everywhere you go, you hear niggas talking about Lil Kim. Because niggas didn't give a fuck about no damn upright, righteous women. Stop. So those
Hold on,
women
nigga.
about the
Sade
Freaknik,
was
for those
Yo,
women
Sade was
crying about
slapping.
the Freaknik, fuck them. Fuck.
Sade was slapping in the
You were
90s.
at, because they had choices back in the day. And their choice, instead of going to the goddamn library, was to go to fucking Atlanta and act like hoes and act like bitches. So fuck them. That's what
But
I
you
say.
ain't. But you ain't about to act like we wasn't slapping Sade, nigga. I ain't gonna let you get away with that.
Well, yeah.
I rocked your
Not
shot there
all.
too, man. Come
I
on.
love Sade.
All right, Oshun, go ahead, man. I need your perspective on this, man. Talk to me.
Do me a favor, look in the back chat real quick before I start. You got that, Rush? Oh, okay. I'm not here to really debate people who don't got passports or feel like they got their opinions. Like everybody got their opinion. Once you state your opinion, just let it be what you said. You know, as they say, I said what I said. Just let it be whatever you said and let it go. There's no need to go back and forth. As far as my opinion about Freaknik, it's like Freaknik happened what at the latest 1996, 95. Is that correct? When it stopped?
98.
98. I was in high school. Chicks was like maybe mid-20s and under. I mean, it was Freaknik. Like they was young people. It's like, why does anybody care? It's like right now, for a documentary to still be going on, it's like, well, I mean, it's not that much time that's passed for it to really affect anybody. Most people here was there. So I don't have no thoughts about Freaknik. It's like that's what kids, college kids was into. If somebody wants to say, well, let's expose people for doing what kids and college kids do, it makes you look a certain way, not the kids and college kids that was on it like that. If you think somebody is willing to fire their employees right now because they were in a documentary back in 1994 or something like that, I highly doubt that. So it's like I think it's just a ploy in this whole gender war space where people feel the need to want to point the fingers, because as much as we talking about women in Freaknik, there was men in Freaknik too doing all sorts of things. So what are we talking about? We talking about black men losing their jobs as much as they need their jobs over something like what happened back in the early 90s with the young people. What are we talking about? Personally, I don't really care. Even if I knew someone in it, I don't really care. It's like that happened back then. If it's still happening now, well, the problem is what's happening now. If we want to say, well, that contributed to it, okay, fine. Are we still having Freaknik? Yes or no? I thought that was over with. Maybe now spring break is a new thing. I don't know. I don't know what they call it now. But if people got a problem with twerking, college parties, whatever the case may be, well, name a solution to stop it from a legal standpoint, and then name the congressman that you've got in touch with as a result of that. But other than that, I don't really see why people over 30 care.
Look at man, I don't give a goddamn about twerking as long as it's not my wife or my woman. I don't give a shit. So if Chaotic's wife won't go out there, shake her voluptuous big old ass in front of me, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna watch your wife shake her goddamn ass and won't feel bad about it. I don't feel nothing. Cause shit ain't my wife. I ain't gotta deal with a crazy ass afterwards. Chaotic gotta deal with that shit and try to have her explain to him why she was out there shaking her ass for all these other dudes for for dollar bills and shit. Not me. Fuck it. I don't give a damn. Shit. It's freaking shit. Why are these chicks worried about it? I don't understand. Why
They worried about it because they're in danger of possibly losing their job. Corporate job.
If you lose your job, you should have thought about the consequences when that happened. Should have thought about all that shit. At the end of the day, that shit could have easily got out. If somebody put it on film, it could easily got out. That's like these kids' name. I said, y'all put everything on camera. Why? Y'all out there putting y'all dirt on camera. That makes no goddamn sense to me.
I mean,
Hink said the same damn thing that I said, Rush. He said the same goddamn thing that I said. Thank you so much. Ain't nothing wrong with twerking. And my thing, like I said before, man, if it wasn't nothing wrong with it when you were doing it, hey, if you didn't think about the consequences then, hey, fuck it. That's all I got to say. Rush, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess, this definitely got a little spicy, man, talking about this documentary, man.
Rush, let me ask you a question. Rush, let me ask you a question,
Yeah.
right? Isn't it funny, especially in the black community, we will big up the most debaucherous type of behavior, and then we get called on it. My job, man, my this, my dad, my this. And then when people like myself say something about it before it happens, we're the coons, we're the Uncle Toms, we're this, we're that. When a black man like myself says a black woman shouldn't even be working for no damn Fortune 500 company, she should be working at home in the fucking house with her fucking family. Black man should have enough money to take care of her. Oh man, you 1950s, blah 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 blah. But now you got black women crying because there's a possibility they're gonna lose their job at the white man's company. If I was the white man, saw you, and I saw that, hell yeah, I would fire you. I don't want you here in the first damn place. So why not? Why not? Create your own shit. You can't act. You know what my mom told me in college, Rush? She said, the white boys can party and drink all damn day. You know why? She didn't say it like this, but basically, my mom's real nice. She said they could party and drink all day because at the end of the day, their father's friends owns industry. It's a part of industry, has businesses. They're connected by the fact that a lot of times white people work harder than blacks and they put each other on. He said, when black people drink, you guys, if you mess up, it's a wrap. And it's the truth. Black people can't afford to be fucking drinking and smoking weed and this, that, and the other. And then when I say it, got niggas, man, I'm going to get off the panel. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Go ahead, get the fuck off the panel. Because I speak the fucking truth about our race. And if niggas are afraid to hear it, fuck them. Because the fact of the matter is that a nigga like me, I was a kid, there were black men in the 90s that were telling black women, man, you shouldn't go down to that shit. That's ignorant. Even the name in itself, the name says it's ignorant. Freaknik. And niggas made rap songs about it back in the day, about to go down to Freaknik. Celebrating motherfucking ignorance. And then when a black person like myself points it out, I'm the coon, Uncle Tom, etc., etc. So what I keep saying is this, motherfuck them. If these bitches are 50 now and they may be exposed, expose each and last one of them. Because Elijah Muhammad told black men and women 70 years ago to be upright, to be polished, etc. And blacks still ain't listen. So motherfuck them. Just like with the spring break. Go down to spring break all you want. Kill each other, sell drugs, shoot dice. Do what the fuck you want to do. Because then when something happens, a nigga like me is going to point it out once again. Because you can't do that. White people, yes, they can do certain things because it's their motherfucking country, it's their motherfucking language. And if you don't like it, go to fuck to Africa or get the fuck out of here. And that's the honest to God truth. So that nigga that was mad about what I said, fuck him.
I don't think he was mad about what you said.
I don't give a fuck because the fact of the matter is that I wasn't talking to him. I was answering Rush's question. And the fact is that he was mad at me. He's mad because he's mad because a black man speaks fucking truth. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna listen. He's mad because a black man speaks truth, and niggas don't like the truth. Stop drinking. Stop smoking weed. Stop dressing half fucking naked. That's the fucking truth.
Chaotic. He doesn't.
No. Stop. That's the truth.
Chaotic. You don't
That's
know
the
him,
truth.
and he
I
doesn't
don't give
disagree.
a fuck if I know him or not. I'm tired of being treated. Stop.
How
I'm
can
trying.
you not care
Stop.
about that
Stop
and
it.
still
I'm
be in this
tired of being
conversation?
treated. I'm tired of being treated like I'm a goddamn alien. Oh, whenever chaotic come around, it's just bad. You niggas don't want to hear the truth. Stop.
All he said was,
I
"I'm
don't.
gonna drop." That's all he says. I'm gonna drop. He didn't.
He
emasculate.
dropped because he's an
Listen, it
emotional.
doesn't matter why he dropped.
He dropped because he is. He dropped
dropped.
because
He
he did
didn't
not like
disrespect
my answer to
He
a
didn't
question.
disrespect you, though.
He dropped because
He
he did not like.
disrespect you.
He dropped because he did not like my
It doesn't
answer.
matter to you why he dropped.
He dropped because he did not
Doesn't
like my
matter
answer.
to you for real.
Ma'am, he dropped because he did not like my answer.
Okay,
my answer
but did
to
he
Rush,
disrespect you though?
Of course he didn't disrespect me.
Okay,
he didn't say
so
anything
he didn't
disrespectful at all.
disrespect you. If he didn't disrespect you, why are you talking about him while he's not up here on the panel?
Whether he's up on the panel or not, ma'am, I am talking about a behavior that is
but chaotic. She's right though, man. She's right though. Come on, man.
I am talking about a behavior. I am talking about a behavior.
That masculine frame shit.
I am talking about a behavior, Hink, that permeates in our culture. Hink, you said the very same thing, right? Literally the same thing that I said. Nobody gave you any pushback. The fact of the matter is that I answered Rush's question. Okay,
so
and I gave yeah.
I think the people that gave you pushback had already left by the time he answered.
Hey man, look, yeah, but she right. Don't talk about that man while he's not here, though, dog.
I'm not dogging him or nothing. I'm just saying how black people are.
And let it be.
I gave an answer to the question about Freaknik. What does that have to do with him? He wasn't at Freaknik. He wasn't even born at the time. I gave my
born at the time. God damn, he ain't that young, nigga.
It wasn't. He was. Listen, I was a kid at the time. I remember older blacks. They were college educated. They were even in the hood. Man, Freaknik. Celebrating ignorance. You niggas can't celebrate ignorance. You don't have enough power in this country to do it. Stop.
All right, we gonna roll on to the next question, my man. Yo, which gender do y'all think cheats the most? Talk to me. Let's expound on this.
This is a goofy question, bro.
Probably women.
Word up.
Men are more loyal. Man. Men are more loyal.
That's a fact.
And we're loyal because
what about you, Hank, man? What's your thoughts?
What'd you say? Are you talking to me?
Which gender cheats the most?
Cheats. Well, look, if you say a man, every man, I don't know. It's 2023. I can't even say it now. It more likely was with a woman, but they could be out there be some dick suckers too. So, goddamn, that's a shame. So, these heifers are cheating a lot. They connive and sneaky with the shit though.
Word. Yeah, they're more sneaky with it and very precise on how they move when they cheating on their mate. I mean, what about you, Miss Shoshun? What's your thoughts?
I really don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really cared to know, but I don't know. I see equal cheating going on. Now that we got the LGBTQ plus, I just see a lot, and I don't know. It's like it's hard to tell because I'm not in everybody's circumstance, and I don't use social media as a barometer of cheating. There's no stats that the government keeps on cheating. Unless it's in marriages that are on record that are going under divorce. So it's like we don't really know who's cheating and how much. And honestly, it's a huge speculation. But all we do know is when people cheat, they're cheating for a reason. That's all we know. But I don't know who cheat more. And honestly, I don't even see how I would know or could know.
Okay. I could ditch that. Yo, Tommy, what's good, man? What's your thoughts? Talk to me.
I would say woman, not because of men loyalty. I would say women because they have more options. Um, if you look at a woman's inbox, generally it's going to be a lot more full than a man's inbox, generally speaking. So I think they have a lot more options and a lot more opportunity than men. Men have to actually, go and work to you know get it generally, whereas women, I mean, you damn near have to exist, and then that's about it. So yeah, I would just say women just because they have more options and more opportunity.
Well, I say
I
the reason I
mean,
say women too is because if you have inappropriate conversation with another man, to me that's cheating. I don't give a damn. It's not just about having sex or penetration or giving head. If you have an inappropriate conversations with a woman, you cheating.
Yeah, but see, hey, when you put it like that, now you just caught the men back up.
Well, if that's the
Because
case, then
niggas ain't shit. I'm like, I mean, I got to keep it a thousand. Like niggas ain't shit with the conversation. It's just it don't mean it's gonna lead somewhere. But generally, if a woman had that conversation, if the dude ain't gonna talk himself out the draw,
I
yo,
think
you still there, Tommy?
I think you cut out, Tommy.
hello.
Yeah, I think you cut out.
I mean, am I still? Y'all can't hear me,
I can hear you now. Yeah.
bro. Hello.
Yeah, we hear.
Okay,
Last thing
yeah.
you heard,
No, yeah, I was getting a phone call. No, I was saying, I think if you had that caveat, Hank, I think that would swing the men more up, just because that's something that you don't generally have to work for. Like I can talk crazy to a chick, and that doesn't require me to put in work, but to do the actual action, I have to. You see, I have to have that option. I have to have. She has to agree with it for for that option to go. Whereas with women, for the most part, I mean, if they make it available, it's a dude out there that's gonna be willing to take it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I always say, if you take a woman and you have her walk outside and ask, say, 10 guys that pass by if they want to smash, if you look any kind of decent, I would say 6 to 7 probably gonna, be interested. Whereas if you take a dude to go outside and 10 women pass by, how many do you really think gonna be like, oh, okay, live, come inside? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's more available to them by pure nature.
Word up. And I kind of I feel you on that. Like females do get a surplus of simps into their DMs, and even sometimes in real life. You know what I mean? Depending on their aesthetics, if it's like on point. You know what I mean, um, and in some cases, yeah, a dude is loyal until you get more options. Have some wiggle room to smash another chick or whatever. But that doesn't determine a man's loyalty. A man's loyalty is based on how he take care of his woman and kids. That's my perspective on that. I mean, um, you know, my next question for y'all, right? And this be the last one. We gonna kill it. Like, yo, do you think when it comes to men dealing uh with a female, having an affair on on the dude or whatever, like do you think that dude has a harder time to recover than a female dealing with an affair?
Yeah, because we love harder. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's, and I would say generally, a lot of times we kind of, I would say we kind of, I want to say give up more to decide to get into a relationship, and I say that coming from the point of view of like we don't grow up dreaming about weddings. We don't grow up dreaming about monogamous relationships. Like generally, we grow up, in this country, you know, and I think naturally, if you want to take it back to nature, you know, one multiple mates or whatever. So as a man, when you make that decision, like, okay, you're gonna be the only one, yada yada yada, that's kind of like for a lot of dudes, that's like a major decision to make. Whereas like with women, that's kind of I want to say for most of them, that's kind of like their goal is to find one dude, chill out, yada yada yada. So I think when a dude gets to that point to where he does want, okay, you the one, I'm gonna chill out with you, yada yada yada, and then you kind of you break that. I think it's a different it's a different level of hurt. Not to say that when a dude step out on a chick that it don't hurt them as well, but I think for a guy, I think it's just it's a different level. I think.
And I agree with you on that. I mean, what about you, chaotic man? Let me get your perspective.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
The question is, do men take it harder than females when it comes to having an affair?
Yeah, because dudes are more loyal. Yeah,
Word up. What about you,
you're not.
Michelle Shun?
I wouldn't say that they take it harder because of loyalty. Um, I would say that men biologically are more territorial in regards to sex per se, um, versus other parts of relationships. I will say that it's hard for a man to assess the pain that happens within a woman and say, hey, mine is more. Because essentially you're saying that your estrogen level was matching hers, so you can speak that way. I don't know how hard a man takes an affair. I can only say that because they're territorial and their territory essentially has been crapped on by another man, that creates that stimulates male aggression. Period. How much I don't know. I'm not a man. However, that male aggression has to exude itself somewhere, if not on her, on the other male, which usually happens. So when violence ensues, people say, "Oh, you took that more harshly than when a woman did it." When in reality, it could very well be just the opposite. We only physically see violence, and we associate that with more anger versus someone being quiet. We don't associate that with anger or high anger, and that's a miscalculation on our part as a species for real. Like snakes, you don't see them angry; you just see them kill people. You can see an angry dog, but last time you seen a dog really do damage like a snake. I'm just saying, like, we interpret these outward actions as shows of more anger or more loyalty or more something else, when in reality it's like betrayal is betrayal. If you've invested your time, which is something, the most valuable commodity in the universe, in someone, and they betray that right there that you've given them, the idea that it men take it harder or less is quite, I mean, it's very opinionated. I'll just say that is very opinionated. It's not really based in much, but whether or not you've been loyal or you haven't, it seems to be very much a biological thing. Meaning this, I've seen couples where the man cheated, brought home a disease, others brought home babies, others was in their wife's bed cheating, and then when the wife stayed and turned around and cheated, suddenly somebody needed to die. Like, I've seen that. And, at the end of the day, I've seen it in just the opposite too. So it's like, I can't say, well, men are more and women are less, or vice versa. Like, I can't say that. I haven't seen any evidence of more or less.
Word up. I could see why you feel that way. I respect it. Yo, Hank, what's up? You the last one? Was Oh, no, Tom is the last one. But yo, let me get your perspective on that.
Man, Lola, you don't want to put no blame on the women. Women can't do no wrong with you, Lola. Hey, man, let me say this. Being a men are visual creatures, man, they could just see the act play out in their minds and their heads and in front of them. Every time I lay down with you, I'm going to visualize another man laying wood. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker might come with a 10-inch and I'm only got 8.5. And that's what I'm be thinking about. All that bullshit. Was you moaning and groaning? Was you calling this goddamn name like you call my name? Yeah, that's a problem for me. So yeah, it probably hurt the man a little more harder than it does the women because, like I said, we get vision, we start seeing that shit. So
Rush, I want to show you something real quick.
All right.
This is what I want you to show to those women who will get upset. Now, that is literally from the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. What are those black women doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing, Rush? I just don't get it. Just be proud of your. If you're listen, we have selective pride. Those black women need to be proud of Freaknik. They need to be proud of what they did, and they need to me even the men be proud of it. Why pick and choose when to be proud and when not to be proud of it? 3 or 4 years ago, nobody would have ever said, "Oh, I regret going to the Freaknik." Now all of a sudden you regret it. Now all of a sudden you're going to throw your culture under the bus. So hopefully, Rush, that was a good question about that Freaknik because I got a lot to say about the Freaknik and about what people are saying. Hope nobody.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, trust me, I know, man.
That's a part of the culture. Why are you ashamed of it now?
Go ahead. KI, you gonna have a show on a Tuesday?
I really want to, but a lot of people over there they say that I race bait a lot, but I don't. I'm just saying. Why not be proud of your culture now? Why throw your culture under the bus automatically now? Because now my job is on the line. Well, I thought your culture was everything to you. Why not?
All right, yo, I want to get everybody's final thoughts before we kill this show, man. So I'm gonna start off with Hank, man. What's your final thoughts? Talk to me.
Shit, my final thought is black man, protect yourself at all times. Get your mental right. Don't get into somebody's couch or on somebody's Zoom meeting if you need to. Get your blood work in order. Heart disease and diabetes is the biggest killer amongst black men. So make sure your A1C is in order. Make sure get your blood work checked and all of that good stuff. And if you're a man of an older age, you better go get your colonoscopy checked as well as your prostate. Colon cancer is a motherfucker. Don't want to be a victim of it. I promise you don't. So just do the right thing, black man, so we could be around this world and take over and conquer it one day. The hell with chaotic. So black man, we coming.
If the black man takes over and conquer, I want to go wherever the white man going. I don't want to be around you niggas. I'm being for real.
Yo, that nigga shot out.
I'm being for real. I want to be around you niggas. Go ahead. Rush, thank you so much, man. I won't come back to y'all next panel. I see that you guys are just some uptight Negroes. So I'll be like Forrest Gump and Forrest Gump when he said, "Sorry for ruining your Black Panther party." Salute to you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Remember that scene? Remember that scene in Forrest Gump?
Yeah, I do, man. That shit's classic. For
ruining your Black Panther party. Rush.
All right, Mr. Shoe, man. What's your final thoughts, man?
I wasn't done, Rush.
My bad. Go ahead.
Rush, you had some great questions, man. They were very thought provoking. But I gotta say this, man. Thank God for the white man. Guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
What's your final thoughts, Miss Oshun?
I agree with Hank as far as black men protecting themselves in a real way. I agree with Hank on that. I would add that I think sometimes we can over police ourselves and create other problems by doing that. Twerking is part of our culture, probably because we have something to twerk. The only thing we might need to kind of shape up is where we twerk at, maybe somewhat. I personally don't mind festivals where that's going on or adult parties where that's going on. I feel like that's the correct venue. And as my father used to say, there's a time and place for everything. I don't feel like we need to get rid of twerking. I feel like we just need to get rid of twerking in places where there's children, in the workplace, places like that, and just be respectful that there's a time and place for that. Some people are over religious and self righteous, and they're gonna die like that, which is why I don't really care. But to your question of masculine frame, that display that you just had on the screen with that individual is not masculine frame. I have never seen a guy be that feminine in my life to talk about what ain't gonna happen to him in the hoodest of hood. Okay. What he ain't going, what he don't care about when it comes to respecting other black men, but yet he wants to talk about what black men need to do and then throw white men over black men. The fact, honestly, if I see him up on your panel again, I'm probably not coming, straight up. And not because I feel like you're not talented enough to have a panel without somebody like that, but someone like that doesn't deserve to be in the space where I'm at. And honestly, I mean, like Mr. Best, I'm not willing to disrespect you, but I'm not willing to really sit on another panel with you like that. He came up on a panel before. I didn't say anything because it's like I know where he goes with it, and it seems like he takes chaos everywhere he goes, and that's not what we're looking to do as grown men, let alone women. So grown men, they're open to doing whatever they want to do, just like this individual. But in the black community, which I don't think he's a part of, for real. That's not masculine frame. Never. Like I didn't grow up around men like that back in the Freaknik days, and I don't know no men like that now. So and I'm from a hard hood. Y'all know where I'm from. So I've never seen this, and honestly, I'm not looking forward to it. If the black community stay the way it is, but we get rid of niggas like that, I'm good. Frankly speaking, but that's it. That's what I got to say. I can't hear you, Rush.
I said the show's finally over. My bad. Seek wisdom, practice humility, and always remain sucker free. You heard? I'm out. Later, Oshun.